Hello everyone, it's the Animatronic Kid here, and today we are going to be ranking every single Spirit Halloween 2025 animatronic from worst to best. Now I am going to be including the inbox only animatronics as well as the online only ones. So, without further ado, let's get into the ranking. Coming in last place as the worst animatronic of Spirit Halloween 2025 has got to be Two-Faced Teddy. Oh my gosh, this thing is a complete joke of an animatronic. Like, when I first heard the name Two-Faced Teddy, I was expecting like a teddy bear or like a bear animatronic similar to Barnaby, or just something better than this utter piece of garbage. Like, the only thing it does is that it turns its head 180 degrees and there's another face on the back. Such a generic and boring, bland animation, and the costume quality is just bad. It's terrible, and I absolutely hate it. And it's just a full-size version of Poor George from 2023. And I hate this thing so much, and the audio is absolutely terrible. Like, I hate it so much. The only good thing about this animatronic is that it is $129.99, $130. So that is the only good thing I can really say about this abysmal animatronic. Like, wow, I expected so much better from this than this other piece of garbage. Honestly, I hate this thing so much. And if you like Two-Faced Teddy, I completely respect your opinion, and it's okay if you like him. It's just, for me, I'm just not a big fan of him. I just don't like him. Next up, we have the most anticipated and hyped up animatronic of 2025, which is the Mutant Sewer Rat. Now, if I'm being honest with you guys, I just don't like this guy. He doesn't look good. He's just, I just don't like him, and it's just I'm not a big fan of him, and I wish he was he is pretty good in size, but when it comes to the execution of it, I just don't like it. And he is $250, which is ridiculous. Like, he is 4 feet 2 inches tall. That is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous price for him. And he only has 2 animations, which is moving his head side to side and his mouth opens. His mouth moves. And I'm not really a big fan of him. I'm just not. And the only reason that Spirit Halloween made a rat animatronic this year was just because of the ISC. The Madison Square Park ISC and all that. So I'm not a big fan of them. But what I would like to see, the only thing I do like is that the Mutant Sewer Rat does have a hunchback, so it kind of makes him look more scary and monstrous-like. But other than that, I just don't like it. Something I would like to see Spirit Halloween do in the future with him is basically have it to where they do a Hunchback of Notre Dame reskin, since when I first saw the Mutant Sewer Rat, the hunchback on him reminded me so much of Quasimodo from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I just hope Spirit does that in the future. But when it comes to the Mutant Sewer Rat himself, I just don't like him. This one right here is Sinister Strawman. And I'm just going to say it right now, it's another Mr. Dark reskin. It's as simple as that. Nothing special. Look, I know people love the Mr. Dark reskins, but I feel like the reskins just don't make sense. Like Tallulah from last year, as well as Hellspawn. Those just don't make sense to me. And the same thing goes with Sinister Strawman. It's just nothing special. It's just making Mr. Dark a different character. And I wish Spirit would do something different with the Mr. Dark mech. because I see so much potential with that mechanism that Sinister Strawman, I just don't like him just because he's a reskin. It's not good. Like, I expected something more original, basically. And of course, they went the Mr. Dark reskin route and just did yet another Mr. Dark reskin. But I will give it credit that it is a Scarecrow, and Scarecrows are pretty cool. But I do wish it was a different mechanism altogether, or just like a different look. Because I also feel like the material, like the costume, is just super cheaply made, and it's just the face is just not good. I just don't like it. Like, I was expecting something more sinister like. And he's $330 too, which is like ridiculous. I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand why Spirit keeps on doing Mr. Dark reskins when they could do something original. But if you like Sinister Strawman, I completely respect your opinion, and that's okay if you like him. It's just, for me, I'm not a big fan of him. Alright, so this next animatronic might come as a shock to you guys, but this next animatronic is none other than Santa Art the Clown from Terrifier 3. Now, I am just going to say it right now that I have seen the first two Terrifiers, and I have yet to see the third one. I love the original Art the Clown from last year. I own the original Art the Clown from last year, and he's great. He was one of my favorites of the year last year. And you all might be asking me, why am I putting Santa Art the Clown so low on my ranking this year while the original Art the Clown was high up? Reason is simple. This is just that same animatronic, but as Santa. It's the same animation and everything, and they just replaced the horn audio with the Terrifier 3 song. It's a Terrifier Christmas. And they just replaced the horn with an axe. And all they did was put a Santa suit and a Santa hat, Santa hair, and a Santa beard on him. It's just a reskin, basically. Just a reskin. Same animation and everything. And they even bumped up his price. The original Art the Clown was $200, while this reskin is now $280. And I do not think $280 is worth it for this Santa Art the Clown. But I will say, he does look movie accurate, but it's a reskin. That's why I don't like it. And you can easily make this yourself, because you can buy a Santa suit for your original Art the Clown and just put it on your original Art the Clown. So I feel like this reskin, which was just not necessary. If Spirit Halloween really wanted to make another Terrifier animatronic, they should have made the little pale girl from Terrifier 2, and that would have been a great animatronic to have. But when it comes to just reskinning Art the Clown as Santa, I don't like it. I just wish we got Little Pale Girl instead of Art the Clown as Santa. But I just don't like him. I really don't. And I absolutely love Art the Clown. I just don't like this animatronic. Okay, so now we have the Grave Dancer. And if I'm being honest, I don't like her. Like, I thought I was gonna like her, but I just don't. I do think the concept of someone dancing on a gravestone is quite creepy and unsettling, but the way it was executed, it just wasn't executed well. And the face just doesn't look good, and it just doesn't look as creepy as I thought it would. I was expecting it to be more like a Grave Watcher type animatronic, but it turns out that wasn't the case. It was just a generic creepy little girl dancing on a gravestone. But I do have to say, the gravestone it's not the most special thing in the world, but it looks good, honestly. And for it being $190, I don't find that price too bad either. But I'm sure people would want it to be cheaper, but I honestly think the price is pretty good. And I just don't like her as much as I thought I would like her a little more, but I just don't like her. This next one is called Sadistic Sadie. Honestly, I really don't like Sadistic Sadie. I was trying to like her, but I just don't. And the only animation she has is her head turning a full 360 degrees, and I don't find that interesting at all. But I will admit, the doll herself looks super creepy, and she is the same price as Grave Watcher, which is $90. But I feel like she should have had one more animation at least to really make her worth $90. I just don't like her, but she is a little better than Grave Dancer because she actually looks creepy, but she's only 2 feet tall, which is understandable, but I would have liked it if she was just a little taller. But she's okay. She's okay for the most part. Now we have the Crypt Countess, and I'm just going to say that she is probably one of the most annoying Spirit Halloween 2025 animatronics this year just because of the audio. The audio is horrendous. I don't like it. And the animation is just her flailing around, which I would understand, but why is she flailing around like this when she's a Crypt Countess? Isn't she supposed to be like a crypt animatronic? It doesn't make sense. But I will admit, she looks creepy, but I'm just not a fan of her. And especially that audio. That audio is like, it's terrible. But the animation is super fast, which is nice. But at one of my local stores, she was rocking so much that they actually had to support her with boxes, and it shows that she is a very unstable animatronic, and you are definitely going to need weights when displaying her outside or just anywhere really. So I just don't like her. And she was originally $300, but she is currently on sale for $230, which is honestly a better price than $300, but at least she's 7 feet, so that's what counts. She's 7 feet, but even then, I really don't like her just because of the audio, and even the face just doesn't look right. The face doesn't look right to me. Overall, she's just, I just don't like her. She could have been so much better. Alright, so this next animatronic is our first flashback animatronic, and that animatronic is Electrified Corpse, and he originally, if you guys did not know, he originally came out back in 2016, and he is returning this year for 2025. So honestly, even back then, I wasn't really a fan of Electrified Corpse, but now my opinion just hasn't really changed on him ever since he originally came out back in 2016. I do think his price is different from the original, and I think back then it was $170, and now he is currently $150. So it's nice he got a decrease in price, but I'm just still not the biggest fan of him. But I do enjoy the fact that he is a corpse being electrocuted, because that's a concept we never really see. But overall, I'm just not the biggest fan of him. And the other thing is, he doesn't have legs, and if you all don't know, I don't like it when animatronics don't have legs. But I understand here, because he's supposed to be hanging up. And overall, I just am not big on him. This is the Lantern Keeper, and I'm just going to say right now, this is one of the most generic, unoriginal things ever. Like, all it is just a pumpkin scarecrow thing, basically telling you to be quiet, doing like the shushing motion, and it's like, we already got this with another animatronic, which is also on the ranking, which I will get to that later, but that one's much better. This one, it's just not, it's not good. Like, I don't like it at all. It's just not worth it. And he's really terribly priced too. Like, he's $230, which I think is a really bad price for this guy. I'm just not big on him, and there could have been so much more with the Lantern Keeper, because I was expecting a like graveyard or cemetery type of character, but instead we got a scarecrow pumpkin guy, which, like I said, is super generic, and I'm not big into it. I'm not big on it. So this guy, he's not that good. This next one is Sam from Trick or Treat, and we just got Sam back in 2019. I know that was it was just a few years ago, but I feel like if Spirit wanted to make Sam again, they should have just brought back the original, because I feel like this one is such a downgrade from the original, because all he does is tilt his head back and forth while the rules of Halloween project from his back, which I think the projection's cool, but other than that, I don't think he's that good. And the other thing is, he doesn't have the swappable face like the original, and they took away the lollipop, the pumpkin lollipop, which I enjoyed, but I still think he's fine, but I really wish they brought back the original from 2019. And he's $250 too, and I just don't think that's worth it either. I feel like if he was like maybe 180 or at least 200, it would be a little better. But it's just, I just don't like Sam. He's not that good in my opinion. This new one isn't as good as the original. Alright, so we are at the point in the ranking where these animatronics, I think, are fine, but they're not my favorites of the year. So first up, we have the most overrated animatronic of 2025, and that is Back Ben Bonnie. Well, Back Ben Bonnie, I think the mechanism for Back Ben Bonnie is super awesome, and just the fact that she is bending down to look at you is super disturbing, and she looks super gothic-like. But honestly, Bonnie herself just doesn't look as good as I thought she did in real life. She doesn't look as good as she does in real life, honestly. But I do like the concept of her, because she does remind me of vampires and like Dracula and all that. But I do think that she could have looked a lot better than she does right now. I do think $180 is a really good price, but I just wish she looked a little better. But I do like how she looks I do like how she looks very vampire-like though. So you can use her for many different haunts if you really wanted to. And also the back bending is super cool as well. So overall, she's okay. This next one right here is Valak from The Nun. And I'm going to be honest, I have seen one of the Conjuring movies, but not the one specific to Valak herself. But I do think she is she's an okay animatronic. I don't really like her look, but I do have to say, the audio, her scream in the audio is so terrifying, with just the bells in the background and her screaming at you, and that animation is crazy. I absolutely love the fact that she lunges out at you, basically scaring the living daylights out of you. And I think that mechanism is great. I think it has a lot of potential within it. And I'm just really curious to see what Spirit does in the future with this mech. But with Valak herself, I'm not really into the look of Valak. I think they could have done a little better on her. But I do think the audio and the animation really make up for the looks, though. And if you are using her in the haunt, I feel like she will scare a bunch of your guests. And I just think the animation on her is great, but herself, I'm just not into her. This one is another popular one of this year, Twisted Grandma. Twisted Grandma, I think her mechanism, the turning of the head and then the body spinning as the jump scare, is a great concept, and I love it so much. But once again, just like with the other two animatronics, I just don't really like the look and the character of the Twisted Grandma. Like, I think that mechanism, the twisting mechanism with the head and the body snapping to jump scare you, has potential, but I just am not really into the grandma herself. In real life, her head just doesn't look good. It looks very cheaply made, and her costume is super cheaply made as well. I also don't like the fact that her mouth looks very puppet-like. And I know Bobby Strings had that feature last year, but he was supposed to be a puppet. Twisted Grandma, on the other hand, is supposed to be a grandma, basically. And she was originally $230, but now she is on sale for $200, which honestly I don't think is a bad price, but I would recommend trying to get a discount for her. But I really hope Spirit Halloween uses this mechanism to its full potential in the future. But for Twisted Grandma, I just wish she was done better. Up next, we have Fire Demon. Now, I really like the animation of Fire Demon because it's like a jump scare animation, because he lunges up at you by opening up his arms and lifting his head, and it can really get some people. And I do enjoy that he does have a an ice type light in him, so it looks like he's actually on fire, which is super cool. But I do wish the face was a little more demon and demonic-like than like a skeleton type face, because I just wish it was a little better. And the other thing is, when he opens his mouth, you can see the mechanism, and Spirit should have put a fabric piece to cover up the mechanism inside, so you don't see it when he opens his mouth. But I do enjoy the animation, and I really hope they use that animation on more characters in the future. But overall, for Fire Demon, I'm just not big on him. Plus, I'm not really into demons either. So, he's good if you like demons. Now we have another licensed animatronic, and this was probably the most unexpected animatronic to come out of the lineup this year. I am talking about Young Hee from Squid Game, and I did watch the first episode of Squid Game, and I didn't really like it too much, but I will say the animatronic looks so good. It looks so good. It looks like it was pulled straight out of the show, which is insane. And she is 10 feet tall, which is really awesome. But the situation is, in order to buy Young Hee, you have to get on like a wait list or something, and you have to purchase her once the season is over. So I can kind of understand why she isn't like a fully purchasable animatronic, but I do understand. And the other thing is, she is retailing for $700, which I think is the most expensive animatronic price ever that Spirit has had, I think. But I really do like the fact that her head turns and that she speaks 2 different languages, along with her eyes moving, which is super cool, and it makes her look realistic. I do wish that she was like a little cheaper, but I can understand why she was $700, because she was more of like an after the season is over type purchase for the 50% off sale or something. But all that aside, I really do enjoy that she looks super accurate. This right here is Trixie, and honestly, I really enjoy her. I know some people don't like her, but I personally do, and I think her jump scare is fantastic because when she starts out, she has the mask over her face, and when she pops up, it's an unexpected surprise. And the knife that she's holding is super well hidden behind the trick-or-treat bag she has, and I just really enjoy her. And I'm really happy that I know it's somewhat of a Dagger Mike and Dark Princess reskin, but I'm glad that they add something original and they didn't have it to where the arms popped up with it, and they have it to where the mask goes up. So I'm glad that they did something new by having the mask over her face and then it being revealed once she pops up. I feel like though $200 is a little bit overpriced. I feel like $170 would have been a little better for her, but I kind of understand because she is 5 feet 5 inches, so you basically a few inches taller than Dagger Mike and Dark Princess. But overall, I do think she is really cool and would go really well in like a trick-or-treat type display. This next one, I will admit, was super hard to rank, and the animatronic I am referring to is Headcase Harry. Now, honestly, I did start out not liking him, but once I saw him in stores, he grew on me a little bit, but then he kind of went down for me again, and then I just ultimately decided that he was just going to go at the top, more at the top of my list. But overall, for a life-size clown, I do think the concept is unique because it's like a Siamese twin type clown character, which I think is super cool. I know people were upset that it was a clown, they wanted something different than a clown, but I do really enjoy him because of that. I have also been hearing that the latex on his face has been ripping, but thankfully I think people are getting replacement heads and that issue has been fixed. And he was originally $280, but now he is $170, which is super nice. And I do like the fact that he has 2 different heads, like I said, and how one hand is holding candy and the other one has a knife. And I do think the costume quality is super nice as well. It's your generic clown costume, which is fine. It's not the most spectacular thing in the world, but it does the job. And I do like how the head on the right actually has a hat, which I think is super cool. Overall, a really cool clown. So now we're at the point of the ranking where these animatronics are the ones that I absolutely love. And this first one here is Night Owl. So honestly, at first I did not like Night Owl one bit. I thought he was cheaply made and I just didn't like him. But once I saw him at Flagship and I saw him at more stores, he really grew on me and he became one of my favorite animatronics of the year. I will say that he is massive in real life. Like, his wingspan is huge. I'm just gonna say it right now. I also do like the audio and of how it's a owl. Basically, it's not just a simple hoot of sound. It's a scary sounding like screech or something that you hear from like a hawk or bird. And I do think as well the wings get super close to you when he does flap them. He was originally $250, but now he is currently $190, which honestly, $190 is really good for this guy. And for him being 6 feet tall, honestly, he is one of the best ones of the year. Next up, we have Trick or Treat Pete. And what can I say about Trick or Treat Pete? I love him. He is definitely one of the most unique candy-based animatronics that we have seen in a long time. I love how when you stick your hand in the candy bowl, candy dispenses from his mouth, and I think it's one of the coolest things ever. But the thing is, you can only have a certain size of candy in there, a certain amount of candy in there, and then unfortunately it will get jammed. So that's the thing with him, is that you can only have like one specific type of size of candy, which is unfortunate. But besides that, he is fantastic. Now, I know people don't like the audio on this guy and they think it's goofy, but the thing is, you're mainly getting this guy for dispensing candy to trick-or-treaters, basically. And he is 5 feet, which is crazy, and he was massive when I saw him in stores. Like, he's great. I do also think the price of $240 is absolutely ridiculous. Like, that is so overpriced. That is so beyond overpriced. Like, it's insane of how expensive he is, just for that one animation of the candy dispensing. But then again, he is also Bluetooth, but I don't understand what you would use Bluetooth for, if you really wanted him to have different music or different sound effects. But overall, Trick or Treat Pete is fantastic. This is Bullseye, and he is definitely an animatronic that has gone up for me a ton. When I first saw him on the website, I wasn't really big on Bullseye at first, and I just didn't know what to think of him. But once I saw him at the flagship store, he was enormous. He was massive. I know he's only 4 feet 6 inches tall, but his size is just with the proportions. Like, his head is massive, the board that's around his neck is massive, as well as his hands and his whole body and his feet. He's just overall massive. I wasn't really big on the whole head turning, but once I saw it enough times, I was like, okay, I guess it makes sense. And I also didn't really like the voice, but looking at it now, I think he's supposed to be like taunting you, because he's just basically a clown with a bullseye. And I love how he has an eye patch, and it's implied that when someone was playing a game of Bullseye, someone got him in the eye. And I absolutely love that. And for some reason, he kind of looks like a pirate with that eye patch too. I absolutely love the guy. But I do wish he was a little cheaper, because he is $250. But besides that, I think he's awesome. I love his color scheme. We've never seen a clown with like purplish, light purple hair before. And the funny thing is, as well, the nose is actually the bullseye, which is absolutely hilarious. Like, I think that is the funniest thing ever. But overall, he's great. He's awesome. This right here is a favorite animatronic that came back in April of 2025 for Spirit Halloween's Halfway to Halloween event. Of course, I'm talking about Silent and Deadly. My goodness, I absolutely love Silent and Deadly so much. So if you did not know, Silent and Deadly was originally sold at Spirit Halloween in 2013 for $145, and now he is $180, which the price is fantastic. I absolutely love the price on this guy. He is worth $180. And I also love the fact that he has his finger in the shushing motion and how he has that bloody knife, and you know that he's been up to something. And he's 6 feet 9 inches tall, which is absolutely mind-blowing. And I didn't know what to think of him at first, but once I saw, well, he's not in stores, he's online only, but once I saw what he does and what he does, I absolutely fell in love with this guy. Like, he is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal animatronic. Now, I know he only has one animation, but I think it's simple yet effective. And he blows the Lantern Keeper out of the water, for sure. He is definitely better than Lantern Keeper. Silent and Deadly is actually creepy. He's actually unsettling. He's actually scary. Like, I absolutely love this guy so much. And I'm so happy Spirit Halloween got the chance to bring him back. This next animatronic is probably one of the best clown animatronics in modern Spirit Halloween time. This is Monkey Business. I absolutely love this guy so much. To start off, he's not just a basic clown that turns side to side or just does something generic. But he is a jump scare clown, but instead of him jump scaring you, it's actually a monkey who pops out of his box, which I think is super awesome because you don't expect it. And I absolutely love the voice of this guy. The voice of this guy sounds just like Alex Brightman. If you all don't know who Alex Brightman is, he played Beetlejuice in the musical version of Beetlejuice. And I absolutely love that musical, I absolutely love that musical and Alex Brightman. So this animatronic's voice has a special place in my heart, especially because it sounds like Alex Brightman. And I also love the fact that the monkey doesn't sound like your average friendly monkey. He actually sounds super vicious, and it's screeching at you while this clown is just laughing in your face and just basically being creepy but funny at the same time. And I also love the color scheme of how it's like black and gray for the clown, and then the box and the monkey are all colorful, which is great to contrast that. And I also love that despite Monkey Business, the clown having a like mainly gray, white and gray color scheme, they still kept the true to red nose on him, which is great. Now, the only con I have with him is that he is $330 for 2 animations, which the clown's mouth moves, which is great. But I just don't, and then the monkey pops out of the box, but I just don't think it's worth $330. If he was $200 or at the least $250, that'd be fine, but $330 is just way too expensive. But the price aside, he is a phenomenal, he's a fantastic clown animatronic, and one of the most unique ones that we have ever seen. And now, for the moment you all have been waiting for. The best Spirit Halloween 2025 animatronic, in my opinion, is Jack the Reaper. Honestly, you guys, I am not surprised that this is my favorite animatronic of the year because it's Spirit Halloween's mascot. We have been waiting for a Jack the Reaper animatronic for years and years now. And finally, in the year 2025, Spirit Halloween delivers a phenomenal animatronic of Jack the Reaper. It looks just like Jack the Reaper. Looks just like the art and everything. Like, I am so impressed that they were able to capture the look of Jack the Reaper and transfer the look of Jack the Reaper into this animatronic. I'm just absolutely mind blown. And I love him, but it's not even because of the motion tracking. It's because it's Jack the Reaper. But I do love how he has motion tracking, and it actually feels like you are being watched by him. And I am just going to say right now, his motion tracking is much better than Nibbles the Clown from last year, because the camera is actually facing down, and it's actually in his finger as well. So you won't have a problem. He won't have a problem seeing you, and he can basically track anybody he wants. But the thing is, I don't know about the scythe. Like, I do think the scythe is a cool addition to Jack the Reaper, but it wasn't present on the poster. It wasn't present on the art of Jack the Reaper. You guys can tell me in the comments if you like the scythe or not, but it's fine. The scythe is fine. It's a cool addition, but it's not on the art. But that aside, I really love Jack the Reaper so much. Like, he is the best animatronic this year. But honestly, the price of $330, the price could have been a little better. If he was like $280 max or even $300, it'd be fine, but $330 is a bit too much. But also, I love how he's 7 feet 6 inches and he's hovering over you, which I absolutely love because it makes him look so much more intimidating than he already is with the scythe and everything. And I love this guy so much. And he's just awesome, and I absolutely love him. I don't know if I'm going to be getting this guy, but I just don't know. Because I just don't know if I'm going to be getting this guy, but who knows? Because I love Jack the Reaper, and all of us have been wanting a Jack the Reaper for a long time, and I can safely say that this is the best animatronic of Spirit Halloween 2025. Alright, so that is going to conclude the Spirit Halloween 2025 animatronic rankings. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this video with your friends. And also, please go follow my Instagram. And as always, happy haunts.